Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to do a nice wax on your snowboard. It's almost time to get out on the hills. I just got finished doing it on my Roam board and figured I'd help some people out and show them on this. So a couple things you're going to need is you're going to need a nice iron, preferably one that's flat on the bottom. If it has your mom's iron and you use that one, it has holes all over it and then the wax will get stuck in there. And if she tries to iron a shirt or something, it's going to get waxed all over that, so don't use your mom's iron. You're going to need a nice stiff brush. I got this from like a Grange or a Big R, Coastal, something like that, and it's a horse brush and nice and stiff bristles to use. I have a wax scraper that you have to have in order to do a good job, and then also an all-temperature, all-purpose wax at your local board shop. And so it comes in different colors and smells and whatever, but just a little bit of wax right here. So first of all, you're going to have a snowboard. If it's dirty because the person didn't know what they were doing the time before, you want to melt the wax, clean it all off, and even use a brush and a little light soap to clean it really good to get all the dirt and rocks out of it. Make sure you do that and dry it off really good. What you want to do is to get the old wax off is you put your iron on here and just slowly go back and forth. Do not leave an iron in the same spot for more than half a second or so, because what's going to happen is it's going to heat up the core of the snowboard and potentially cause it to delaminate, come apart, split apart, stuff like that. But you want to warm up the wax just a little bit, and the purpose for that is to get the old wax and the old dirt off. And once it warms up, you take your wax scraper, dig in a little bit harder, and you pull that off. Last year, when my daughter went snowboarding, it turned into a really icy night, and so the majority of her wax by the end of the night got taken off. So there's not a whole lot of wax on this right now. So you just kind of want to clean it off like that. Make sure you get all of it off to make a better job, just like that. And so, nice and clean. You put more wax on. What you want to do is just like the Karate Kid, you take some wax, tip your iron up like this, press against it, and don't leave it in one spot because you're going to get a big glob. But you want to go around the outside first. Starts dripping, slowly drip around the outside. Go down on the lip and back around. And then I'm going to go back over it in a zigzag, all the way down the center of the board. And that is to ensure that every spot is going to get plenty to move around. Let it finish dripping, and then here we go. I'm just going to go back and forth until all the wax bubble spots have dissolved, and put a nice, fresh, smooth wax all over the board. I've had people tell me, I've been doing this for 15 years, and I've had people tell me that they take wax from your mom's kitchen that you use for baking, and they put the wax paper down on top of the snowboard and rubbed it on or used an iron to try to melt the wax on, and that is not how you wax a snowboard. It's actually really funny. But this is what you do. You just smooth it all out until all the wax is melted and evenly across the board. All the way down on the front lip. And if for some reason you got a hard spot that just doesn't seem to melt all the way through, I'll just slow it down a little bit right there and make sure it melted. If your board has been sitting outside in the shed and it's really cold, you want to put it in the house at room temperature to warm up for a couple hours, because what happens is the core of the board will hold the cold air, and it will make it very difficult for the wax to melt and to spread out evenly over the board. So just a couple more spots, and we'll be done with this section. All right, if you want to bring the camera over here, I'm going to show everybody what the board looks like. You can see from this angle right here that is kind of rough, right there, you see that? That's what the board is going to look like. It's going to be coated and covered, but it's going to be a little rough. If you look here, you can see mine is smooth, just like that. So when you first spread the wax all over, the main bubbles are gone, but you're going to have these streaks of wax right through here, like that. So what I need to do is I'm going to let this dry for a few minutes, and as soon as it's dry, we'll come back and finish our job. Okay, so it's been about 3.5, 4 minutes, and I've allowed the board to cool down. Still a little warm to the touch, but it's not too bad. Just want to be careful if the wax is warmer when you scrape it. You don't want to push as hard on the wax scraper because you'll take too much wax off. But you just want to, it's just best to let it cool a little bit longer. But what I'm going to do is keep the scraper straight up and just put a little angle on it and a little bit of pressure. And I'm going to take off the excess wax. So I'm going to be hanging just over the edge here. And I'm going to come in and scrape. The point of this is because when I drip wax on there, I literally drip too much. And that will slow your board down, and you will not be able to go as fast or as, it'll still respond well. You just won't be able to go as fast. It'll slow you down. And so I'm just taking a nice long scrape here. You can see I got quite a bit of wax coming off, but it's kind of like feathering off right there. And I just want to do that a couple times. And if for some reason you have a rough spot where there's like a lot of wax in the middle, you hung it over the spot too long, I'll scrape it, and if it's not coming all the way off, I'll take the iron and go over that spot again. And you see I'll do the same thing with the tip because it's a little difficult to do it on the end. So that's a little bit more of a shorter stroke right there. Clean that off, nice and clean. I'm going to do this front tip right here. A little slower. You just, as you do this, you learn how much wax to put on and how much wax not to. If you take your board out and when you're done with the day or halfway through the day when you're going for lunch, you look at your board and the bottom has cracks all over it, like wax cracks, then you know that you left too much wax on the board. And what you want to do is next time don't quite use as much wax or just scrape it off. So I did that. I went through the whole board, got most of it off, and then I'm going to take on the scraper, there's a little cutout right here, and it's got a little edge on it. And so I'm going to go down the metal edge right here just like this, and I'm going to get that excess wax off of that metal edge because you want to make sure that your edge is clean and digs into the snow or ice or whatever conditions that you're boarding on to make sure that it responds well. Just like that. So, if you would bring the camera over here real quick, I got all the big spots off. There's just a couple little things I'm going to show you right here is a tidbit of a high spot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the scraper and just lightly go over that. And you see that? I just took that little high spot and I saw one more right about there. So I'm just going to go over it, take that high spot out. But you see the lines, see all the lines go in every different direction? That is what you need the brush for. So go ahead and take that. You get this horse brush at some sort of some sort of tack shop or something like that. And this is actually a face brush for a horse. It's smaller, easy to hold on to. The bristles are really stiff. And so what I do is I take it and I go with the board. And what that's going to do is it's just going to take the remaining marks that have been put on the board and it's going to smooth them out and make it look nice and clean and just kind of give it a finished look. So when you pick up your snowboard from the board shop or whoever it is that's supposed to wax it and do a good job, it'll look like they actually did a good job rather than having these weird scrape marks all over the place. And so I just do this until the board is nice, clean, smooth, like that. and you will see a whole bunch of little balls. Go ahead and take the camera over there to show the surface. It's a lot smoother, a lot cleaner. There's just a little bit of wax residue, and I just take a dry towel and I go like that, rub it off, clean it up, and there you go. And you are ready to go snowboarding. That's all that it is. That's all that you have to do. And that's pretty much what they do at any board shop that you pay a lot of money for. That's it. So hope this helps you. Good luck on your snowboarding. Have fun this year. Hope there's a lot of snow. And learn how to do this. It's fun and easy. All right. See you later.